Nas, should we go to you now? This is something we've been planning for a while now.
Yeah. I'll say
Tell us what we're going to be learning, allegations, what they're saying out there.
the babies are on the hunt, so if they come in, I'm sorry. That's why I come into my room and fall asleep. It's because I'm on my bed. Uh, uh, hold on, let me just share. There we go. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we got it.
So I'm still waiting for you to.
I knew every time you're going to comment on this, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think we've just accepted your amazing designs.
Yeah. Okay. So this week's statement is the same as all the others, but it's part 3, Gog and Magog. So it's just an explanation on what that is. So these are the hadiths. I'll read some out. And so I've got a question for you at the end as well, but that's let me just read this out. So the Messenger of Allah so woke up red in the face and said, La ilaha illallah, woe to the Arabs from an evil that has drawn nigh. Today a hole has been opened in the barrier of Gog and Magog. And he gestured to indicate the size of the hole. Zainab said, I said, O Messenger of Allah, will we be destroyed when the righteous people among us? He said, if sin and evil deeds increase. And there's a few others that the Messenger of Allah said that the I don't know why I wrote that twice. The Muslims will use bows and arrows and shields of Gog and Magog as firewood for 7 years. And finally, the Prophet said, the people will continue performing Hajj and Umrah to the Kaaba even after the appearance of Gog and Magog. And narrated by Shuba Extra, that our Day of Judgment will not be established till the Hajj is abandoned. Now, these are Quranic verses. So, chapter 18, verse 95, they said, O Dhul Qarnayn, verily Gog and Magog are creating disorder in the earth. Shall we then pay thee tribute on the conditions that thou set up a barrier between us and them? So, in chapter 18, verse 98, so they, Gog and Magog, were not able to scale it, nor were they able to dig through it. And chapter 21, verse 97, it shall be so even when Gog and Magog are let loose, and they shall hasten forth from every height. So every person that I've spoken to that's non-MD has always taken these literally, where they say that, my friends said that they're digging every night, and apparently on the day that they say inshallah will be the day when they come out, or they say that they're digging and they're just one dig away, but they stop for the night, and then Allah basically rebuilds the wall again, and they got to start all over again the next day. So I'm saying the Holy Quran. So this is what I mentioned last time. So it's just, again, it's all about logic and understanding. And if you just read everything literally, as I said before, it becomes to a fairy tale. So you have to take things with an understanding and not just blindly look at it. And then these are the commentaries that Marissa told me to look at as well. I didn't get time to read through it all, but it was really good. It literally tells you everything that I'm going to say now. But it talks about how, it talks about the Western, Christian nations and Russian nations. And it talks about even here where the Dhul Qarnayn part, and it puts everything into context. I'm not going to read it out because it was quite long, but puts everything into context. And once you just look at this, and for us, it's easy to look at, but the hard thing is that with non-MDs, they won't want to look at something like this because they'll say it's not from us. They'll say, oh, you've made it. But if you just look at this with an open heart and an open mind, it makes everything just make sense. So yeah, I can send this to whoever wants to see it.
I think that bit in the commentary where it says the holy founder of the Ahmadiyya movement, Ahmed, was the Dhul Qarnayn of our time. That's amazing. And to think that Dhul Qarnayn is mentioned, Hazrat Masih Maud Islam, who would come and he would destroy Gog and Magog and Dajjal. And I think Nas will talk about it much more later. And I'm going to show a video to you guys as well, Khalifa Rabi explaining what Gog and Magog really is, because he explains it as Gog and Magog is this wall, and once it breaks, it's the physical being that will come and spread its, it will destroy people's understanding about what religion is, and they'll go and spread out into the world. The Christians will send their priests and all their people will to completely take their minds away from true religion and make them understand this Trinity in God. And so when that happens, the physical thing, then behind him, Dajjal, he will come quietly and he will just slowly take people away from religion and away from Allah. So Gog and Magog and Dajjal are both mentioned in Surah Kaf because they're both working hand in hand. One is physical and the other one is more quiet and more invisible, which is Dajjal. So yeah, that's...
Thank you for the rest of the presentation. No, I'm joking. That was good points, yeah.
Yeah, but I want to show a video. Khalif Rabi explained it so amazingly. And
that's the same video you sent me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. So again, so referencing from last week, the Dajjal is in reference to the religious position of those people, and with reference to the hadith I mentioned above and the Quranic verses, Gog and Magog is proven to be the political stance, and these are the opponents of the true Islam. So they say Gog and Magog are two types of people: the Christian nations of the West, as well as the Russian state. The words are derived from the Arabic words of fire, meaning they will work with fire. Through this, they will create many inventions and weapons to create disorder in the world. And when Allah sent the promised Messiah, salam, they, the Western nations, had ruled over the entire world and were succeeding in every way possible. They took over many countries physically and controlled others with their mind. In the shadow of the Christian faith, were spreading rapidly and attacking Islam. So that's why you're talking about the Dajjal quietly behind them. And then Hazrat Ahmad came and destroyed these false beliefs, and the Christians had to run from India. The scholars were left speechless, and all the Muslims turned to the Prophet to defend Islam, and he defeated all the Christians and people of other faiths through his arguments. And that's how the cross had been shattered. So that's something I'll go on to later on in one of the other presentations about that. So the Prophet stated, I have also proved that it is essential for the promised Messiah to appear at the time of Gog and Magog, since Yajuj, from which the words Gog and Magog derive, meaning fire, God Almighty has disclosed to me that Gog and Magog are people who are greater experts in the use of fire than any other people. Then their very names indicate that their ships, trains, and machines will run by fire. They will fight their battles with fire. They will excel all other people in harnessing fire to their surface. This is why they will be called Gog and Magog. These are the people of the West, as they are unique in their expertise in the use of fire. In Jewish scriptures too, it was the people of Europe who were described as Gog and Magog. Even the name of Moscow, which is an ancient capital of Russia, is mentioned. Thus it was preordained that the promised Messiah would appear the time of Gog and Magog. And then what I mentioned before here is that proof of, because people will say, because back to that first thing where they're saying that, oh, Gog and Magog didn't come, so, why would the promised Messiah be coming? So this one here proves how Gog and Magog did come and how there was a need for promised Messiah. And then finally, I'll leave you with the same hadith that I've always put at the end. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. It's okay, guys, if I just share the video of Khalif Rabi, because we can explain things, but when we hear from a spiritual source, it actually becomes very, very clear. So let me see if I can find it. I did download it. Yes. This was one of them. This is Khalif Rabi just giving an explanation about Magog.
But remember this, both words are derived from fire. Ajja or Majja. Both are derived basically from the infinite of fire. And Aj is pronounced Ag in Urdu as well, which means fire. So anything of fiery nature is described. And this is a very important observation which you should keep in mind now, because there is something to follow. But let me first lay the foundation for what I'm going to tell you. The Yajuj Majuj are a two powerful people who would appear in the world at a certain time. And there would be a wall of some sort. That wall will be broken at last. And Yajuj and Majuj will be kept confined away from the rest of the world behind the wall, will suddenly inundate the rest of the world. And they will move on to the rest of the world and capture it like Amwaj Ubar, like Moj. And the word Moj is also derived from the same word, like fire. The water, when it splashes and which moves in waves, that is also called Moj. So it has two connotations. They will be fiery people, or they will use fire for their gaining supremacy over the world, and they will use oceans and spread like oceanic waves, wave after wave, conquering and inundating the rest of the world.
Yeah, that was another video as well, but that really explains the concept of Gog and Magog. So I hope you guys have understood this concept. We can talk about it a lot more. Just Khalifa Rabi, I think in that sitting, he explained it for over 40 minutes. So he explains it with Dajjal and Gog and Magog, because they both come in the same chapter in Surah Kahf, which we explained last week as well. Yeah, Nas, what are you saying?
That's it. You got it all.
Is that everything, yeah?
Yeah, I was thinking, does anyone else want to add on? Usually Mubarak Saab is quite active, he knows what's going on, but you got anything?
I think Mubarak is occupied in on his phone.
No, I am here.
Yeah,
to be
Pakistan, what are they saying about Gog and Yajuj and Majuj? What's the concept?
that there is a wall of a salt, and this Yajuj Majuj is leaking at that wall. When they will finish the salt from that wall, the wall will break down and they will come into the world. This is the statement they narrated. The Pakistani people narrated like this: the wall of salt, and they are leaking. Once this wall will be finished, they will lick all the wall, and then they will become inside the world. And the second thing, what I believe, that Yajuj Majuj is a kind of the nations like the Jal. They both are like similar to each other, because the function of these two people are to destroy the world and destroy the humanity, and do the all like facade in the world. So these both are the same, having same work or same nature of work, but having two different title. I personally don't know why the hikmat behind this, why Yajuj, Majuj and Dajjal has been categorized differently. This purpose is almost the same.
Khalifa Rabi explained it. He said that Yajuj, Majuj is the physical people, the priests, the nations.
Yes,
this is a physical thing. And then Dajjal is the quiet person. And he's quietly whispering into people's ears, and slowly taking them away from Allah Ta'ala.
Yeah, it's all about the nations, like media, and I think there is a documentary or a season on Netflix which you guys have already watched. I'm damn sure about it, like Messiah. What
Messiah. Messiah.
Yeah. So these are the whispering things from the media point of view. So some people, like the Jal is doing the media thing, and whereas this Yajuj Majuj is doing a practical thing to provide people a cardboard to be eaten like in a shape of McDonald's burgers, to be balance the 7 billion population of the world. Because the richest families of the world, if you will research on that, I have a deep study on that. There's seven families or royal families who is ruling this world, and they are take caring of the thing that we are feeding 7 billion. This world is a company, and these employees are 7 billion, and we have to maintain this population accordingly. So we have to give people good food, in a shape of cardboard, attractive things, and people don't need to go outside. Be seated in your house, don't do any health activities. So the people, every life will be 50 to 60. They will not do anything. Uber Eat is there. You are working on Uber Eat, it's sitting. You are having ordering from Uber Eat, you are sitting at home. Parcel delivery, you are sitting at home. You are idle, you are not doing anything. And from your mind perspective, they are giving you some this sensational or this stories in the Netflix, these all which they were showing you to damage your mental health. So this 7 billion population can be easily handled, and after 50 years, or the average year of a 50, it become a 50 years or 60 years the average age of the person. So this 7 billion population can be handled accordingly with this Yajuj Majuj, or 7 families of the world, or the Jal thing. These all signs which I think is in the world. It's the same time, it's attractive thing, and it's we called it like a modernization and westernization in terms of word, but actually it is not that good.
There you go, guys. McDonald's, Yajuj Majuj, it's all interlinked. Exactly. Nas,
But say Bismillah before eating that, it will be halal for you.
Nas, anything you want to finish on that?
No, I've got nothing more to say, really.
I think also we need to look into this Zulkarnain. We need to talk more about that later on. So I think that'll be a good next step before we go to the breaking of the cross, because we need to mention as a Masimod now and talk about how he actually came and eliminated that. And then you can also, because it's such a big topic as well, mentioned in the tafsir. Chiga, Jazakallah Nas, really good, man. The main thing you're doing is giving us the references and telling us where it's all coming from and the other ideology as well. So yeah, Jazakallah, man.